But anyway, so we're gonna do some sketching in blue, and I'm just gonna do basically like a boy's face. So what we're gonna do here is, let's see, you want to structure, do a circle. We're using the light blue because we're doing a sketch. So do a circle, kind of a head. And what you do is you break the head into different parts. See, when you do kids, it's always nice to do like kind of cheeks, big cheeks when you do the kids, or at least this is how I do it. And then you have a line that kind of shows the separation of the face. So you have kind of an oval here, a bigger for the cheek area, and then this is just a basic head area. And then you just you want to give ears, kind of fun ears, rounded ears, right in the middle, right where this line is. And this line tends to be kind of right where the eyes should be. Your eyes should fall just about here. Okay? And your nose should be somewhere within this area, here and here. Okay, and then you can use this entire area to do the mouth. One thing about when you're drawing little kids, you want to do big eyes. That's always a good way of as an indicator of a kid. So you got these large eyes here. And then the nose, there's different ways of doing noses. You could do turned up nose, which is always cute for a kid drawing. Or, you could give them a little more of a, even a rounded nose, doesn't matter. Depends on what kind of kid. It depends on how you want to draw them. The mouth is great because the mouth, you could change an entire expression depending on how you do the mouth. You go like this, and the kid has kind of a doubtful look about him, like he's curious or a little worried. That's a nice thing about mouths. You go like this, uh-oh, he did something wrong, right? You give him a little uh-oh kind of face. Of course, the big smile, right? Now what you do is when you do this little line here, I do this little line here because it indicates a lip. But you don't want to draw a whole lip because it'll just look strange. But this kind of gives you the impression of a lip. A couple of things coming off of it there. Then you can have fun with the hair. I mean, depends on what you want to do. You can go kind of nutty and fun with it. Okay. And fill it in. I usually start with the eyes, once I have the sketch down. And you leave a little bit of white on the eyes because it makes the eyes shine. That's always kind of nice. And then you have the basic shape, which is almost an M shape for the eyes. I like to also sometimes add a little bit more. So this is kind of like where the cheeks kind of meet. Okay? And here, his little nose. We're going to give him eyebrows. I didn't indicate those earlier, but I thought I should. Yeah, so one thing is, you have to sketch down so you have a nice guideline in your drawings. And little nuances you add, like the chin. Gave him a little bit more of a chin here. Then you've got the hair. You just do some basic lines. And then the nice curl hue for the ears. It's more lines. Nice. Curly cue for the ears here. Okay. And then just fill in the hair however you want to do it. Could be any way you want. Alright. Then you got his neck. You can even give him a little shirt here. Alright. Okay. So I'm using Photoshop, and in Photoshop you have a lot of abilities to screw around with some colors. So I'm going to go ahead and do so. I'll pick myself a nice color that I think will work for his tone of his skin. And I'll just start filling out. Now, the reason that I'm not erasing the black lines is because I'm using layers. And just like if you were using paint over India ink, which is the ink that you generally use, waterproof ink, and when you put ink, when it's dried, nice and solid, you can actually paint over it and it won't smear the ink. What I did is here is the top layer, and then that's a bottom layer. So I just left the top layer on, and I'm coloring on the bottom layer so it seeps through. Excuse me. So I'm going through here, and I'm just going to kind of colorize and fill in the areas that I think need to be filled in. And do his neck. Very good. So now what you want to do also is, just for right now, just so you guys can picture it, I'm going to go ahead and color his hair. Let's give him orange hair. And we'll give him, let's see, pick a color for his shirt. Alrighty. So you can see that's what's under it, and that's what's over it. Now, something else I like to do is I like to add a little bit more. So what I choose is I choose the same tan or color skin, and what I do is I make it a little bit darker, and then I go in and I highlight areas, or not highlight, but add shadow to some of these areas, like right where you think a shadow would lie, like inside the ear. Sometimes around the head, like maybe his hair is putting some shadow over it here. Then you do just the opposite. You choose that same color and you go lighter. And then maybe you do on his cheeks, his nose, you give him a little bit of lightness there. On his ears. And then it adds just a little bit of a depth to the character there. Do the same thing when you try to shadow the clothes. So this is where there's a crease, so you make it, oops. And then his hair, you do the same thing with his hair. Now there's a little bit of a mistake here, so I'll fix that first. And then we'll darken a certain area here. Okay. So there you got a simple walkthrough of kind of how to do a face. All right. Have a great one. Thanks a lot.